everybody, welcome back for another Flosstube. It has been a very hot minute. Don't mind, my shit is always in disarray, so it is what it is. We're back. I took a hiatus. I don't even know how long it's been since my last video. If I remember to look, I'll put a thing here. It's been a couple weeks. I did the Mystical Diamond Art new releases video. It's been something else. I've just had so much going on here. For a couple days there, we had, of course, myself and my husband. We have 3 kids, and then my husband's 2 sons were also here. Well, myself and my husband, and then one of his son's friends was here, and one of his son's girlfriends was here. So we had a lot of people here. It's just been a hot minute. My 20-year-old stepson is getting an apartment and he's moving out, and his girlfriend has been staying here until their apartment is ready. It's taking longer than they anticipated. They were hoping for a June move-in date, and they're told that it's probably not going to happen until the second half of July, which sucks, but then it's better. It gives them more time to kind of get stuff together. They've been buying dishes and trying to get things together. They're pretty set, so we'll see how that goes. And then, of course, the whole COVID thing, things are opening back up. My chair is very broken, so I need to be very careful how I spin and how I maneuver, because I will go tumbling. Yeah, I probably went almost a whole week, maybe, without stitching at all. I lasted until about Maynia 17, and then I did a couple more days just stitching on whips, and I didn't bother recording any of that. I don't know if it's like COVID depression or what it is. My hair is a hot mess. I haven't felt like doing a whole lot lately. I've also been making a lot of masks for everybody. I mean, I don't have any of them here, but I made my girls some masks yesterday, my daughters, because I know it's going to get to the point where I just can't keep them home anymore, and I'm going to have to take them somewhere, and I want to make sure that they have what they need. I don't know. It is what it is. I feel like really, I don't know if, you know, when you're watching videos and the person's talking, but their lips don't match what they're saying. I don't know. I feel like my camera's doing that right now. I'm not sure. Once I start lifting stuff up, if it looks a little weird, I might have to start a new clip. So this video, what I'm going to do is I am going to do like a Maynia parade, I guess. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. I'm going to go through all of the whips I started for Maynia compiled into one video. I'm going to briefly show them. I don't want this video to be 2 hours long, not even an hour and a half. So I'm going to try to keep it as long as a normal Flosstube. I'm going to go over new starts that I've had outside of Maynia, because I basically ended my Maynia early. I was going to try to do the whole month, ended up not doing it. I've got a really long haul section already recorded. I haven't edited it down yet. I don't know. I'm going to try to condense that. So I already have that. This might be an hour and a half. I have no idea. Then I already have more haul. So we're going to get the ball rolling. It is what it is. So I have good progress on one of my new starts, and I'm very excited about it. I'm also waiting for my mail carrier, because I have package pickup. It's already later than they normally deliver, and my husband ordered some stuff off of Amazon, sent it to a previous address, which is actually the next street over behind us. So it's the same mail carrier, because it's the same set of boxes where we go. You know how the suburbs have those boxes for everybody to check their mail. So I'm hoping that when it's the same lady that picks up the packages, that's going to deliver the mail, so that I can give her the tracking numbers and get them, because it's my fault that the old address was on there. Anywho's it's. Let's start. I don't know. I'm gonna have to hunt. I didn't put these in any type of order. I just know that they are here, and this is backwards. So there was a lot of, my bins are down here, so I'm sorry if I'm going like down. This goes this way. There's a lot of whips that I didn't get to start, that I was really hoping to start. Not whips, new starts during Maynia that never got called. Maybe I'll put a screenshot of what my Maynia wheel still looks like right here. I already have a new wheel. I'm giving you guys a sneak peek of that too, of all of my whips and new starts from Maynia in one single wheel. I need to add a couple more because I started some other stuff as well. So I may just spin off of that. I kind of get in these little spurts where I just work on one project for a couple of days, get tired of it, move on. So it is what it is. So I do have a bunch. I didn't get to start the Winchester Mansion. I didn't get to start Autumn Magic. So that's kind of sad, but at the same time, it is what it is. Like, what can I do? I'm looking for my... Where are they? I thought I had 2 of these with those whips in them. This is Electra. Where's Gwen? Is this her? No. I thought I put her in a project bag. Maybe I didn't. Hold please. Okay. So Maynia Day 1 was Gwen from Nora Corbett. This is what she's gonna look like, and have not worked on her since Maynia Day 1. This is how far I got on her. Is that the correct orientation? No, it's not. It goes this way. That's how far I got on her. This is the bottom of her dress, and 1 foot down here in the corner. Down here is where I started. I figured I would start in this sea of black. She did work up very quickly. This didn't take me that much time at all. And once I pull these out again, I know that they're gonna just stitch up so quickly. All of these Nora Corbett ones that I have, because I have some of the letters from Nora too, they're gonna work up so quickly. This is stitched on a piece of 14 count Ada from Be Stitch Me. I don't know what it's called because this one doesn't have a name. Sometimes she has some one-offs that she just lists and doesn't include a name on those. So that's how far I got on her. These, the Bewitching Pixies and the letters from Nora are so fun to stitch. I have enjoyed every second of doing that. So the second Maynia start that I had was actually a kit by Dimensions, and it's the Fall Fairy kit. I keep saying that the one that I want is called the Spring Fairy. It's not the Spring Fairy. It's called the Woodland Enchantress, or no, is it called Woodland Enchantress or something like that? Something Enchantress. The Spring Fairy look is something different, and that's one that Hobby Lobby, I think, carries it, and it's something different, way different than this. The other one matches this here. So this was Maynia Day 2. Whoops, I pulled out all the floss. This is really nice to work on. You want to use the needle that came with the kit, because I tried swapping the needle and it felt completely different, and I found that it was just easier to use the bigger needle that it came with. I don't know if it's because the holes are tighter that you have to puncture them through, and it's harder to do when your needle's so short. But that's the little tiny start that I got. It goes this way. The little tiny start that I got, it started in the upper left hand corner, which is just a tree, right here, the tree trunk and stuff. So there's not a lot there, and then it'll get into the blue, and some of the blue back here is not stitched. It's the color of the Ada. I have to say I'm genuinely enjoying this. They're pretty advanced. I don't recommend starting on one of these if you're a new stitcher, but the directions are pretty detailed. They're fair size for my eyesight. I've worked with smaller, and they're super detailed. So I don't even know how many stitches that is, but that's my start on this. I loved working on this. And you guys, I think I'm going to say that about every project that I have that I love working on, and I can't wait to get back to it. I kind of feel bad for having so many whips because there's only so many hours in a day, and the reality of me working on all of these in one day is never going to happen. But now it gives me more time to, like, I don't have to worry about starting a new one, because starting it takes a long time. You got to measure, you got to figure out how far in you're going to go, how many inches of space you have on the sides, because often I don't buy the fabric like this bigger than what I need. So that doesn't make sense. I usually purchase fabric random, willy-nilly, and have it in my stash. And then I go through it and see what I think will look good on it. And then I measure it and see. Some pieces I have like 6 inches left on each side. Some pieces I only have 2 inches left on each side. It just depends on the fabric that I chose. So Maynia Day 3 was Emily's House, which is a kit chart from Lindy Stitches. It looks like this. Again, I loved working on this. I do have a working copy. Well, actually, this whole thing is my working copy because it was a PDF anyway. I loved working on this. I'm really, all of these, I just want to stitch like every day. So this is how far I got on Emily's House. I did have to frog some stitches here because they were off. It's really dark. You can't quite make out the variegation in these, but these are 2 different colors. In person, you can definitely tell that this one's more of a brownish dark gray, and this one's more of a tealish dark green color, like a blue green. And I'm stitching this on, what am I stitching this on? 18 count Mummy from Bestitch Me. And it is a gorgeous fabric for this. Initially, I was going to use Tiramisu from Bestitch Me because it's freaking gorgeous, and I felt like it matched the background of the image already. It was going to be perfect, but it wasn't big enough because the tiramisu I have is 14 count, so that was going to require me to have extra fabric, and the piece that I got from Bestitch Me was a smaller cut, and so I just didn't have the space to do it. Oh, I didn't bring this one over. Let me grab it. This one has been on my scroll frame for a bit. I don't have the whole, I do have the chart in here, I think. Let me show ya. Here we go. Maynia Day 4, I think this was Light by Barbara Anna, which was already a whip. So those first 3 were all new starts. This was already a whip, and I have this entire half done here. All of this is complete, and I'm working on this half. I'm almost complete doing the vine here coming down. And then I have the fox to work on and the buildings on the bottom. And that's where I'm at, that whole half there. And I started doing this and I made a mistake. So I think I already frogged the mistake. And I'm not sure. I'll have to double check this. But I just haven't come back to it yet because I've been doing other stitching. I did do some substitutions for this. Whenever this becomes a finish, I will share that. I have talked about this before, though, the substitutions for that. So it's not anything like private or anything. Make sure there's not a needle on here because I do that sometimes. So there is that. Day 5 is a big one that I have hanging over here. I'm just going to bring them both because I know I worked on both of these during Maynia. So day 5 was also another whip. I don't have an image of what this is supposed to look like. Let me go through here real quick and see if I have something to show you. I do not. Well, maybe. Hold on. Well, day 5 is the Stitch Your Own Adventure from Stuart Cunningham in the Cunning Cross Stitch group. This is the initial layout of it, and I'm still working on chapter 1. Still haven't finished the castle. It is what it is. I can't remember the date of his last release. There might even be a release today. Today's June 1st. I'm gonna have to check, but I think there was something in May. I'm not sure. This is how far I am on that. I haven't touched the castle. I finished off a bunch of threads that I had here, and I'm starting on chapter 1, which is inside of this center thing. It looks a little like off center. It's not. It's just there's nothing to stretch this corner here, and so I swear my lines are straight. But this is the inside of chapter 1, and I started on my banner. I'm doing a modified banner that I got from the group. It doesn't have a name on it, but if you go into the Cunning Cross Stitch group, you'll find all the information you need for modifications and all of that kind of thing. So day 6 was also another new start. and working on the horrid piece of linen that I originally started the Stitch Your Own Adventure on. And we started Barbara Anna's Let It Snow. We did get a good dent in this one too. This is one of those projects that just doesn't have a lot of super incredible detail, that you can definitely see your progress in a day's work. So I started here in the outline of the scissors here, and it worked up pretty quickly. I think this day I only had like 30 minutes of stitching. So there's that for day 6. Day 7 is another Nora Corbett, if I can find it, because that's how I roll. Okay, so we have my cat, I don't know what he's doing. Letter L by Nora Corbett, which is the Letters from Nora series. And let me see. Oh, the Stitch Your Own Adventure is stitched on, I think it's 16 or 18 count earthen by Picture This Plus. And then Barbara Anna Light is stitched on a piece of random casual linen, I think, called Bone, that I got off of Stash and Loading. And the what was that? The Let It Snow by Barbara Anna is stitched on a piece of Natural Star linen that I got at Hobby Lobby, and it's still available there. So letter L, this is how far I got in letter L. A little bit more on the bottom, not much though. I messed up big time. My L is a lot thinner than it's supposed to be. It's supposed to have one more row, but I'm just gonna go with it, and I'm gonna make the adjustments as necessary going up, because what else can I do? So if I recall correctly, I'm going to stitch both the letter L and both the letter E on the same piece of fabric. I should have enough space. I mean, you can see my L is almost complete as far as the shape, and then I just have the fairy sitting here, and I still have a whole nother side to stitch on. So I'm pretty sure I have plenty of room for that. This was really worked up really quickly as well. I enjoy working on this one. The brown that I'm stitching it with is amazing, and it is something by Classic Colorworks. Hickory Sticks. Loving it. I also thought I ordered more hickory sticks, and I didn't. When I got my 1, 2, 3 stitch order, I only had Argyle socks in there, and I don't know why. So I need to see. This was already like over a week ago. So I mean, it's not like I'm working on this right now. So it is what it is. Never got to start the letter E, but that's okay. Not like I don't have plenty of starts already. So day 8 was another favorite piece. I honestly think that my favorite floss to stitch with is Classic Colorworks. I'm very much loving it. At this point, I've stitched with Victorian Motto. I love Victorian Motto as well, but it does have a different feel than Classic Colorworks. My cat is tipping stuff over. Okay, so I thought that, remember the whole mishap with the addresses? We're good still. They still haven't picked up my packages either. All right, so what else? I have Color and Cotton, still haven't stitched with it. I have Dinky Dye, still haven't stitched with it. I have some Silk Floss by Hand Dyed River Rolanda, still haven't stitched with it. And I have I think that's it. So anyway, loving the Classic Colorworks though. So Maynia day 8 was Curious Mermaid by Autumn Lane Stitchery. She looks like this. I did make a substitution and took out the color that they called for this here outside. Was, I think it was $9.39. It just seemed too dark for me. Cassandra did stitch it and it looks amazing, but I also think that it depends on what type of fabric you put it on. And so for me, I am stitching this on a piece of, I didn't even tell you what the other one was either. I'm so bad at this. I think these both came from the same place. These are both stitched on Crafty Kitten fabric. I don't know what this one's called from the letters from Nora. The tag's not in here anymore. because personally I will not order from Crafty Kitten again, but that's a piece of Crafty Kitten fabric, and so is this. This is also a piece of Crafty Kitten fabric, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it is. This one's called Lichen, and I think that one was just a limited edition fabric that you can't get anymore either. So this is my progress on Curious Mermaid. So she's coming along good. This is the start of the bottom. And so I think I have a little bit more to go. Not much, a couple more rows maybe. And I actually think this is the beginning of one of the shells, because each corner has a shell like this. And so there's not going to be a whole lot more. And so I've got 2 corners started, and I don't recall how much further it comes out on this side. It does come a little bit more, and that's where we're at there. Loving this piece, absolutely loving it. Oh, so the edge, like I said, I replaced it. Theirs was $9.39. I'm using Bejeweled by Classic Colorworks because it's got variegation. You can see some of it now. It's a little bit darker here than it is here. Love it. Absolutely love it. Another favorite piece. This is a piece that I always grab if I'm in a pinch and I want to just grab something to stitch real quick. This is the piece that I always go for. But lately, it's been another new piece, another new start that I have, and I'll show you guys that in a second. So that puts us at day 8. Day 9 is another big one. And I got a lot done this day. Let me stretch it out a bit. This is Once Upon a Fairy Tale by, I don't have a picture of it, but I will insert a picture. I think it's not on my board either. I'll insert a picture here so you guys can see what that looks like real quick. And this is the progress I got. When I first started, I only had a bit here in the top corner, and I did all of this. And I think I even started stitching on it before I started filming that day. I'm not sure, I can't remember, but I got a lot done this day. And this is going pretty quickly because I'm doing this 2/1 10th stitch. So I'm only completing, it's like doing half the work essentially, and I'm loving the way that it's coming out. I'm a little iffy on some of the let me cover my face, things here because it looks pixelated, but I'm gonna go with what everybody always says when you're stitching a hate. It is a Heaven and Earth Designs, and it's by Amy Stewart. They always say to trust the pattern, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna trust it and see where it takes me. Maynia day 10 was Harvest Time Sampler. I don't even know if it says sampler. It's just Harvest Time by the Prairie Schooler. I am doing this one. I don't know why I chose this. I don't even know if I thought about it. I should have thought about it and chose either the top one or the bottom one. The bottom one's actually probably gonna be pretty tedious too, but I still love this one too. And if you look at some of their other samplers like this, the seasonal ones, this town is the same, or this farm. I don't know if this is like one person's property or what, but the houses and everything are the same, and it changes by the season. And so I love to stitch like all of the ones so they can be seasonal. You know, does that make sense? Anywho's, this is a really tedious one. I did start it. I've only got half the stitches going this way, and I need to come back and finish it. But I'm pretty sure this is one corner, this is another corner, and I don't recall how far I got on this corner, but that's what it looks like. And I've got one pumpkin done. The pumpkin is actually, I think, 2 different colors. He's not variegated, he's just 2 different colors mixed in. I started on the second pumpkin, but I was getting pretty burnt out on it already because it's basically the same thing over and over. So I'll come back to it. It's still fun to put stitches in no matter what you're stitching on. I still enjoy putting the X's down and seeing my work. So, you know, I think that's kind of the basis of stitching in the first place. So that takes us to day 11. And where is she? Right here. Another Heaven and Earth Designs for day 11. Not a new start. Harvest Witch was a new start. Oh, and I'm stitching that on a piece of fabric that I dyed myself. I think it's just 18 count Ada from Hobby Lobby, or maybe even Walmart. I don't know. So Janessa, I got a lot of stitches done on Janessa too the day that I did her. Going into the second Maynia week was probably the best stitching week that I had. I just seemed to have a lot of time on my hands that week. This is what she looks like now. I don't have a picture of her in here either, but I'll put a picture of her in here. She's also up there. She's the one with the moon. This is Hannah Lynn. So I came in here and I started trying to fill in some of these gaps. It was a lot more gappy, and I also did, I think, 2 strands of fill in here because this is all solid color on her right there. I enjoy working on all my Heaven and Earth designs. This is a piece of 28 count even weave from Hobby Lobby by Artiste, which is Zweigart, so it's not like a weird off brand. And I'm doing this also 2/1/10 stitch. So that's what that looks like. There's a ton. This is my floss as well. And that's not all of it. That's just the ones that, if it calls for 2 or 3 skeins, they're not on there. Only 1 skein is. So there is that. Day 12, I actually got Temperature Trees. So Temperature Trees is also another one that I'm itching to come back to. This is a pattern from Stitchin' Mommy on Etsy. She's also Stitchin' Mommy on YouTube. I do have all my dates current on this, which is good. I even took my book out of my planner and popped it in here so that I had it in one spot. I'm stitching this on 28 count light blue even weave, also from Hobby Lobby. It's the same Zweigart Artiste brand, and this is how far I got. I started outlining my thing so I could see how much room I was going to have, and I think if you can see the rainbow thread, that's how far out the branches are going to go. I'm not 100% if I did it right. I got really burnt out doing that, just doing the border, and I only did half. But my January is ready to start from January 1st to start doing the leaves on here, and I'm almost done stitching the top part. I think there's only 1 branch. I don't recall. I'd have to look and see. Oh no, there's only the 3rd branch. I'm coming out on the 3rd branch, and I just need to finish coming down on it, but it's complete. This is the last row on this side, and then the leaves. So this is also a fun one, and this one works up super quick. When I bought this pattern and first started it, I wished, going back, I wish, like today, I wish that I would have replaced the brown for a variegated brown, like a fancy floss, because I'm only using just $8.98, but I think it would look amazing with some kind of fancy floss on there. So that's that. I gotta turn the page in my planner. The 19th I skipped today, or the 13th I skipped today, I didn't stitch on that day. On the 14th I went back to a new start. Temperature Tree was a whip. I went back to 14th was a new start, and she was Electra, which is right here, I believe. Yep, Electra looks like this. She's also a Nora Corbett Bewitching Pixie, and she looks amazing. Well, the image looks amazing. I'm not very far on it, and that's what my start. I started in the bottom here, right there. You can see the swirl. I finished that, started coming up into the next swirl, and I'm almost already done with the black. You can see here where the orange are. Hey, what are you doing, buddy? Quit. Where the orange starts, I have half stitches here that need to go in and complete. This is the piece of fabric that I'm working her on. She obviously is not going to take this whole piece, so I'll still have enough for another pixie. And what I like is that there's hardly any purple on this side, so it'll be like 2 different completely pieces of fabric if I stitch another pixie on this. And this is, I got this off of Stash, or no, I think it was just one of the other cross stitch for sale groups, not Stash Unloading. I got this for, I don't know, I think 10 bucks, maybe less, but it's a Dime for Cross Stitch by Kathy Davidson, my cat. And this is a piece of 16 count Ada, and it's ice dyed because she marks what she does on there. And Kathy Davidson still does dye. It's just very hard to get some of her fabrics, so I don't even try. I just happened to see these for sale. When I didn't get them because they were from her, I got them because they looked amazing and I wanted them. So that's what that is. cat. Come on, dude. What do you have here? He's playing with this fuzzball. Go over there. Really, Butter? Oh, he saw it. Alright, so the 15th, I did not record a start for the 15th. I don't recall what I did on the 15th. I don't have a video for the 15th. So I either worked on a whip or I didn't stitch. And then the 16th, I did Library Fairy. And I'm still not happy with her. So she's, you're gonna have to take her out. Yes, she's in a 31 bag because that's what I have. I still need to make more project bags. This is what she looks like. Again, she's a Heaven and Earth design. It was a new start as well. And I'm stitching her on a piece of fabric that I got from Crafty Kitten. I think it's just called Turquoise Opal. And this is the one, I talk about this a lot in the video for that day because this is up. I did some test stitches on here because I couldn't figure out what I wanted to, how I wanted to stitch it, and that is all that I got. Ultimately, I settled for 1/1, and this is going to take me my entire life because of that. But I just wasn't happy with the coverage I was getting. I didn't like 3. I hate working with 3 strands, so I didn't want to do 3/1 tent stitch. And 2/1 tent stitch isn't enough space. This is 25 count fabric, and 2/1 tent stitch just was not providing the coverage that I wanted it to have for that piece. So I don't know what the heck. The 17th, I stitched on this. So this piece, I stitched quite a bit on. A lot. I stitched on it a lot. I don't know if I'm pretty sure I showed it. I stitched on it more after as well. But the one that got called was Tourist by Joy Sunday. It looks like, or it will look like this, and I've got quite a bit done on her. It's a stamped piece, so the only reason this one was included was because it was already a whip, and it was one that I had been continuously working on. I have a lot of Joy Sundays already started that I didn't include in there, and this was the only one that I had like given myself the okay to start in May. So for here, I think I did this part. I know I came here and did the bowl. So it's orange on orange for the bowl. I don't know why. Oh no, it's not. It's blue. So wherever this blue is going to turn into this orange. And then I've got done some more of the orange stitching here. The red coming up here on her hair. And then this was already done. What else did I do this day? Oh, the white and the gray down in here as well. And a lot of this fill in up here I did too that day. So this moves quickly. The problem I have is that for some reason some of these stamped Ada pieces, the holes aren't all the way punched, and you have to apply more pressure to punch them in. However, Joy Sunday floss is my favorite floss to stitch with. It almost feels like silk floss. So I have that whip, and that's it. That's all of the Maynia pieces that I started in Maynia, and all the pieces that I worked on for Maynia. We're already in June. I'm still going to track what I stitch on that day because I find it really enlightening to go back and look at what we stitched on, and if I don't record it, then you know, whatever. I didn't record anything the last week of May. It is what it is. I had a lot of work diamond painting related, so that's part of the reason. So you can see that there is a lot of stuff that didn't get called, but you know, it is what it is. Whoops, moving my stuff. So moving on into the new starts that I had that were aside from Maynia. Stitchin' Mommy did a hashtag Joanne in May sell, and I wanted to participate. I haven't worked on this, only on the I think it was the 28th or the 29th that we started. I only did it that day, and I didn't get a lot of stitching in, but I am leaving this out so that I can come back and stitch on it. Oh, the mail is here. Crisis averted. We got it taken care of. My mail carrier, they already know me because I'm shipping Mystical Diamond Art packages every week, 3 times a week sometimes, and she knows. So my husband's fault for putting the wrong address on there. He's like, your Amazon says primary address is blah, blah, blah. That's not true. I go to Amazon all the time with no problems. Okay, so Joanne and May sell Stitch and Mommy and a couple of other people. I don't know if they're all floss tubers, but I know that there's a couple of, I think there's 5-ish of us who all started a Joan Elliott, I actually need to get the picture to show you guys, a Joan Elliott chart on the same day. So the one that I chose to do, you guys all, you've heard me rant about it enough, is the A Wizard's View. This is the chart that I chose to start. I got the teensiest tiny little start on it, but I'm going to leave it out because I really want to work on this. And Stitch and Mommy, Sarah, she's just blowing away her chart, working on it. So let me cover the pattern. You're going to see part of the pattern, but it's not the whole thing. So here is where I am. I got like, what, 10 stitches there, but I didn't want to start the border because I just didn't. It's boring. And I was, after looking at it, the border has 2 beads that I don't have. I didn't get them. So that's going to have to come at another time. And then also the gold, the band that goes around it, it calls for Krynic number 4 braid in 2, which is the color gold. I'm not going to do that. I'm probably going to do something else. I might pick up a silk floss. I actually have a silk floss from Handed by Rolanda that might work. So I'm going to see how that goes. And so this is what it looks like. Loving the way that the stitches are coming out, and the coverage on this is phenomenal. I'm stitching this on a piece of 18, is it 18 count? 16 count Ada from Bestitch Me. This was February's fabric of the month because I have been doing Bestitch Me's fabric of the month for at least 6 months now. I think I've been doing it because this is February and we're already in June, and I already paid for my June fabric, so about 6 months. So that's that. Super excited about that. Yeah, loving it. It just, I've been dying to start that one. It was on my Maynia will, never got called. Then I finally started the 2020 Linen and Threads Friends and Family Mystery Sampler Stitch Along, another sell. I'm not doing the initials, so I'm going to leave those spaces blank. And then I think when the whole thing is said and done, I'm going to pick some of them, whatever small motifs are in here, and pop them into the smaller spaces. Like here, if you look, there's this square here. I had a phone call. All right, if you can see the little square here, that would fit just fine here. Even here, this looks like a P or a bow tie. I don't know, I can't tell, I'm gonna have to ask, but it would still fit even there to take up the space. And I know that there's other motifs in here tiny enough for that. Let me see if I printed out. I didn't print out the cover for February. If I can get through here. My fingers, you guys, with this decor veins just doesn't. Actually, I think I printed out May already. Oh yeah, May is in here. So let's pull out May. This is where we're at. So maybe, I see this, but there's already one there, so we don't want to do that. But like this motif here, this little flower, I can move. I can put one here and I can put one here, or in one of these spots, and it still won't look bad. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, because I don't. I'm not gonna put a whole bunch of initials. And I don't know how many so far. There's already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 initials. So I have a big family, but if there's already 8 initials in these first 5 parts, there's going to be too many for, even if I put all of my kids, my stepkids, just too much. So I'm mad at myself because I lost the needles. I put a pillow on top of it and I told myself, Be very careful when you lift the pillow tomorrow. I put the pillow on top of it because I didn't want the cats to get it. Told myself, be careful when you pick the pillow up. Did I fucking do that? No, I didn't. Rip the pillow off. My needles are gone. No idea where they're at. So I'm stitching this with the DMC, I think it's called Satin, in the color, it's called Peacock something. I didn't save, oh, actually it's Artiste. I didn't save the thing, but this feels amazing, you guys. I freaking love it. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's Peacock something. I got 3 skeins for now, and I'm about halfway through 1 skein. And I'll show you guys how far I am right now, but I'm loving it. This is what I thought silk floss was. This is called Satin. DMC has a satin one as well. This is what I believed silk floss was, and which was why somebody asked me about that the other day. They said, how you mentioned that the dinky dyes and the hand dye by Rolanda didn't feel like silk, because this is silk to me. I don't know like how this came to be where they said this is satin, that is silk, because those just feel like regular floss to me, but softer. I would say that's satin and this is silk, but hey, who am I to say shit, right? So anyway, this is an amazing colorway. I wasn't sure at first because it's kind of bold. It looks black, but I don't think it is black. I think it's a very, very, very dark, like grayish purple. I'm gonna move the pattern so you can actually see, and this is where I got on it, you guys. I am having so much fun stitching this, and I think it's just because of the floss. The variegation is pretty hardcore. It's not subtle, and so it's making this come out a freaking amazing. Like, look at that. And it looks more muted on camera because of the way that the light is hitting it than it is in person, but this is freaking gorgeous. I am absolutely loving it. I can't. So part 1, I'm almost done with part 1. I have the whole top motif stitched, and the star I'm about halfway through, and it has a thing here that comes out. It's got another star right here, and it comes out in a circle like this. Only goes to about halfway right here. So this motif comes out to here, down this way. It has a circle going around it. And then the butterfly, which looks like it's going to be a very quick stitch. And the 2 snowflakes that are here on the ends. So it's taken some time, I'm not going to lie. But I did almost this whole thing in 1 day of stitching, because I was just so happy to start it. And this is taking me a little longer because I stopped marking my pattern because I lost my pencil, but I'm gonna mark all that off maybe today when I come back to it and get going on that. So those are my new starts that were separate from Maynia that I'm very much enjoying my time on. What else? I guess just haul. So I'm gonna move. I gotta scoot over to get my haul because I keep my haul over here. So let me just pull all that out. I still have to run some errands today, and I still have to clean my house. So, but I think I have plenty of time. This chair, really just need to get a new one. So, part of it, DMC order came in. I ordered a couple of weeks ago, and Brethren Blue was out. I ordered Brethren Blue for the Stone Street Stitchworks library, or what is it? The one that says I've lived, what is it? I can't remember what it's called, but it's the blue house in the center with the 2 trees. It might not even be library. I can't remember what it's called. Blue house in the center with the 2 trees on the outside. The house calls for blacksmith blue, and I don't know if I'm actually going to stitch it in blacksmith blue because I kind of want to do a red brick house and find a variegated thread that matches like a red brick maroon kind of color, because it says something about I've lived more in books than anywhere else or something like that. And my mom lives in a red brick house and she freaking reads like a mad woman, so I figured that would be perfect to do. So aside from that, those coming in, plus 2 DMCs. I don't even know, 160 and 164. I don't even recall what I needed those for, but I have them now. So Trish from 3 Hour 3 Owl Threads has this nest egg thing. And it took me a really long time to find how to sign up for it. And I finally signed up for it. And I signed up for the Classic Colorworks one. And I believe the way that it works is that you sign up, you go from the beginning, and she sends you everything in alphabetical order to eventually, when you're done, you have the entire collection of the fancy floss that you signed up for. I was very tempted to do all of them, but come on. I just, you know, it is what it is. So, of course, I did Classic Colorworks because I was just bragging about how much I love Classic Colorworks a little bit ago. And, yeah. So, let's see. It cost $23. Looks like shipping's also included for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, for 10 of the Classic Colorworks skeins. And I got all of the ones in the B's. So that's what I'm assuming happens, because I've been hearing about it from Michelle Bendy. She talks about it a lot. And I didn't know the exact gist of how it went. And when I signed up, it's just a Google Doc. So you go and you fill it out and you let her know which one you want, and she'll eventually get back to you with your invoice and just start billing you. So I've already paid for my second shipment of these, but I don't think they've shipped yet. So she was a little bit behind there for a bit, so I'll probably be getting this one this week. I'm not sure, but yeah. So I got, in this first order, I got Brown Sugar. She also does Gentle Arts, I know, is also on there, and I'm not sure what else is on there. I got another skein of Bejeweled, which is awesome, because if I run out in the Curious Mermaid, I have another one. Betty Bluebell, light blue and dark blue, well, not dark blue, but Bandana. This might actually be the red brick I'm looking for. I'm not sure yet. You see that? Blueberry Tart. You can see the variegation, definitely. Barrel Cactus. This is a cool one too. This is a great gray as well. It's like a gray green color. Blue Moon. Lots of blues going on here. Let's see. Blooming Crocus. Is that how you say it? That one looks neat. A lot darker on the bottom too. Blue Beadboard. Super light. And Blue Beatrice. Lots of blues. So we'll see what the second shipment brings. I'm not sure. We'll see how that goes, but I love it. Absolutely love it. I just love Classic Colorworks already. I never thought, when I first started stitching, I was just like, fancy floss, smancy floss, like whatever, I'll DMC because it's affordable. And then I started stitching and I was just thinking, I'll get one to try it. It started with that Bejeweled from, I don't know why I got it. Oh, it was called for in the Letters from Nora. When I got the Letters from Nora, and I was hearing like, oh, it's not gonna look the same. If you do a conversion, it'll still look nice, but it's not gonna give the intended effect, blah blah. So when I got the Bejeweled, I got the Curious Mermaid pattern at roughly around the same time, and I thought, this is gonna look amazing. Ordered more of it. Haven't gone back. So my Victorian motto also came from May. So that's my nest egg from May. This is my Victorian motto from May. We got some good ones here. I'm getting a little like kind of about it, only because every single order has a light green in it. I don't know why. I don't know if that's just how it's been working out, or if she's intentionally puts green in there. I'm not sure how she does it. I'm thinking of contacting her to see how that works out, but I'm not sure. Speaking of Victorian motto, I don't think I've gotten my invoice for June yet from her. I'm not sure. I'll have to check. But the ones I got this month are Mars. So this one's pretty neat. I don't think this is quite the brick red I would use. It's more orange. It's coming up red on camera, but it's orange. It's more of like a rust color. It's so not as bright as it's showing. I don't know why it's showing up like that. So that's called Mars. Then there's another red called Red Schoolhouse. I still don't think this is a red I'm looking for either. I don't know who this is. Let me answer it. Anywho's it. Yeah, I think this is too... It's not bright at all, but I don't honestly see any variegation in it. So this is just called Red Schoolhouse. Again, it's not as bright as they're showing up. Now you can see the rust color in the one on the bottom, but the one on the top still not as bright as it's showing. Then, of course, wouldn't be a Victorian model without a light green, right? This is called Witchy Green. This one does have some variegation in it. It's not quite showing up as much as I'd like it to on camera. It's still a gorgeous color, but I don't need that many like sea foamy green colors. Another orange. This one's called Cosmos. That is not that bright. I don't know what the hell is going on. Let me put them all together, see if they show up a little better. That looks way better. This is called Cosmos. You can see the it's just not showing the variegation on here today. I don't know what is going on with these colors. They're just being super washed out. So Cosmos, Red Schoolhouse, and Mars here. But this shows more of a true representation of what they look like. Then we've got Meadow Violets. None of these have a DMC conversion either. This one's showing up pretty good of what it looks like. It's lighter down here in this section than it is on the top. That's a gorgeous purple. And the last one is called Lemon Ice. This one does have variegation in it. It's very subtle though. This would make a great popsicle color or something to that effect. Maybe a moon, nighttime moon, because it would kind of like glow because it's almost a pastel color. So that was my May Victorian Motto Shop Floss subscription. I get the limited edition subscription. She does have another one that's primitive. I don't know what the primitive ones consist of because I feel like in my limited edition one, I'm not getting any bright colors, and I haven't gotten any bright colors, and I definitely don't have a lot of blues from her, or even purples, yellows. I've gotten a lot of reds and greens, so I'm not sure if it's just the way the colors have been coming out lately. While we're on floss, I'm going to talk about this. I ordered some floss from China because it said it was silk floss, and I was very curious to see what it was going to be. I've got 4 hanks here of floss, and I am not too thrilled with the quality of it. I've already tried contacting them, and they're like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Take this off and it'll be fine. No, it will not be fine. Look at how shredded and mangled it is on the bottom. They said that this tag, you pull this tag out and it will pull off the one thread. And I'm like, it's not the one thread that's the problem. Like, look at this. Like, what is this? I'm afraid to pull that section out. I haven't undone the whole thing yet, but look at how gorgeous this is though. Isn't this beautiful? And these flosses are a mix as far as texture is concerned between the Dinky Dyes and the Hand by Rolanda and the Artiste satin one. They fill in between those. There's another blue. This is a more of a lighter blue. I mean, they're gorgeous, don't get me wrong, but they don't, all of them are like this weird shredded thing. Here's a light blue. And look at how it has this chunk of shred here. I don't know what this is about. I haven't undone the entire hank yet. I think I'm going to undo it and see what happens with it. They also feel kind of strange in the hand, so I don't know. I have more silk floss coming, and I'm just gonna see because I don't know what we're gonna do with that. So I also printed out this freebie, this other freebie from Barbara Anna, because when I was doing the fox, I thought I need I think it's a goose or a duck, maybe, I'm not sure, that I needed the other one because I noticed that they had the same matching vine thing. So I downloaded this one. This one's definitely not as detailed as the other one, so this one should work up quicker. It's smaller. I don't know what the stitch count of the other one is, but this one looks to be about 75 maybe by 98 or so. Oh, it's right here. 75 by 97. Wow. My guesses were pretty good. She's got the graph on this. It's not like it was that hard, but that's a freebie. You can find it on her Instagram, and then it takes you to where you can download it. Then, I think I talked about these already. I'm pretty sure I talked about these. Hey everybody, welcome to the haul section. So, as is beginning to become customary, the haul is on a different day as the Flosstube. I'm bumping into something behind my chair. That's because I get to a point where I have so much haul that I have to get this recorded so I can get it put away, because right now my office is a mess. So we're gonna get started. See what I mean? So yesterday, I noticed that Hobby Lobby and Joann's were open. My husband had a deposition yesterday that he had to attend, and so I decided to go into Hobby Lobby and purchase a bunch of floss that I was missing. So this is all from Hobby Lobby, and then I got, this is how they were inside the thing. So I had no choice. I had to get them because it was only 3, but I got the, shoot, I don't remember the color. Oh, Peacock Show is what this is called. And this is the 100% rayon satin floss from Artiste. And I'm going to use this for, I think, the Linen Threads sampler. I just didn't feel like sitting there and picking out all of the colors for every motif. I felt like that was just going to be too much work. They also had another one called Autumn that looked freaking gorgeous, but I don't know. I think for the Linen and Threads, I was really wanting something like this. And so obviously I'm gonna start with this one because it's a hot mess. And that this one is at least semi-contained in here. So that one's gonna stay. I'll probably try to fix it somehow. Or maybe I might have to put it on a bobbin or something. I don't know. We'll see. And then the rest of these are threads that I needed that I didn't get from 123 Stitch, that I actually got an email from them today saying that they are sending the other floss. So now I'm gonna have, there can't hurt to have extra, but some of this is for that. This particular color, no, there's a gray in here that Nowhere had, that I had to, this one right here, 3799. I got a couple of these because Nowhere had it. Hobby Lobby had everything. So I went ahead and picked that up. And then last couple of weeks ago, my friend Amy sent me a gift card for 123 Stitch for my birthday last month, and so I used that to purchase some floss, and then I also added on a whole bunch of more floss. And this is to complete the 2 Hades that I have, Magic Castle and Magic Study, and that's what these are for. And then my almost got them all. For some reason I didn't get these little butterfly gems for one of the Nora Corbett Bewitching Pixies, so this is for that. I think I'm still missing another one, to be honest, but I'm not sure. So that's just all the floss that I got from 123 Stitch. That was it. That was all I ordered, was a bunch of floss. Everything was there as well. My kids. And then, let me see. Oh, Hobby Lobby also picked up another thing of the 28 count even weave, because this is my super favorite. And I needed this for, what did I get it for? I had a project in mind, but I'm not 100% sure what it is now that I'm thinking about it. But I went and picked up another one of these. So if I don't end up kitting up something with it right now, it's just gonna go to have fabric in my, yep, I have a piece of string because I was making masks. That happens. It's just gonna go in my fabric stash. What else did I get at Joann's? Oh, and then I got a ton of fabric because I wanted to make some extra masks and stuff. So I also ordered Mislaid Pages as an Etsy shop, and I wanted to try. She's doing this cool thing with dinky dyes where you can order I think she's going through the alphabet for dinky dyes until you eventually have the full collection of them. It's like a monthly, kind of like a monthly subscription thing, but you're not stuck into it. You basically just go to her Etsy and order every month the thing. And as far as I can tell, hasn't like run out to where it's an issue. So this is the third month because I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it. So this is the third. I got May's Floss of the Month or Silk of the Month Club. It's called Collect the Catalog. And so for May, I was really interested in trying dinky dyes. So my thing was silk. I told you guys that I had gotten those silks from, what's it called? The Canadian one. Rohandai by Rolanda. And I've only ever used the silks that come in the silk stamped cross stitch kits, and they are completely different than dinky dyes and completely different than the ones that I got from Hand Dyed by Rolanda. So I don't know if it's because like where the silk comes from, I guess, like the type of silk it is. I don't know. It's completely different. Honestly, just feels like you took regular floss and like soaked it in a hot thing with conditioner. You know how you put extra conditioner in your hair and it makes your hair smooth and silky? That's kind of what these feel like. And that's the same thing with the Rolanda ones, and not at all like the silk that I get in the AliExpress kits. I understand there's a clear difference. I'm just not educated enough on the different types of materials to know. So for May, these are the dinky dyes ones. I don't know if I'm gonna get more. I don't know if I'm actually gonna do the entire catalog, but she shows you a sneak peek of what they look like. And so this month was more really just to see what they felt like. So I'm still not 100% sure if I'm gonna continue ordering them. So these come with 8 meters, and it is, let's see, we've got Aussie, whoops, maybe, Aussie Gold, and they are variegated. They're very clearly variegated, you can tell. Aussie Gold, Aussie Dawn, which is very similar to Aussie Gold. They almost look identical if you didn't know any better. Then we've got Araluan, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, and then Aussie Jewels. So very much into the Aussie theme, and this is clearly, we're still on letter A. There's been 2 months previous to this, so there's at least 8 more skeins that have the letter A name, but it looks like since we're in the AU that we're probably almost done. Sorry, I had an interruption and my hair was in the way. So dinky dyes, Silk of the Month Club, which is Collect the Catalog. I know I said that already. Mislaid Pages on Etsy, and I do believe that you can contact her if you want the months from before, because May is the 3rd month, and when I checked today there was only 1 more listed available. By the time this video goes up, I have no idea if there's going to be any more, but I know you can contact her, and I'm sure she'll work with you to get the previous month. I know in my order she did send a note that if I wanted the March and April silks to let her know, and I have access to those. So there's that. Okay, I'm trying to make sure that that's all of that. I do actually have to go to my post office, like the box here, in just a bit and go check it. So I did get my fabric of the month from the Stitch Me. So if you have not gotten yours yet, or you haven't opened it yet, you might want to skip ahead like a minute. But there was 2 fabrics of the month. She did, I think it was Coffee Cake, I think, or Coffee Club or something, and Dreamsicle. I ended up with Dreamsicle. So this is what Dreamsicle, let me take it out. Well, she doesn't put the, there we go. She used to put the codes on here. That's why I would always only show you guys one side before. That's what it looks like. It's pretty bright, but I think this is gonna look good on a pixie or something. I don't typically stitch like a lot of patterns that would call for something this bright. So I don't know. And this one, I switched my thing from Ada to the Lugana on the Even Weave selection. So this is a piece of 32 count Lugana that I ended up getting. So that's what that looks like. And then at the same time, these actually came in 2 separate shipments. But I've just been sitting on them for so long that one of the Friday Night Fight Nights from a couple weeks ago looks like this. I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago, because she didn't have one last week. And so what I picked up from here, I ended up with a piece of 16 count fall. This is gorgeous. This would have been a nice color for the Universal Monsters cell. This would have been a gorgeous piece for that. So that's what that looks like. This piece is too small for that thing for me to switch, but this is gorgeous too. This would also look good as a pixie. Clearly my mind just wants to stitch Halloween all year round. And then I ended up with this is one of her new ones. I got a piece of 18 count Ada. The other one's also Ada. Wet cement. So this is like a gray brown color. That's what that looks like. I also got this one. Actually, I'm gonna take this one out because you cannot see the ish in this at all. Ooh, I like it. This is gorgeous. I don't know if the lighting is right in here at all for you guys to see what this actually looks like, but that's what that looks like. Nice. So hers, I do keep in the plastics, not for any particular reason, to be honest. It's just easier to store when they're in the plastic, and I feel like the plastics are breathable enough that it doesn't cause like any crazy issues or anything. Let me show you guys fall as well. Look at that. Oof, love it. That's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Then I also ended up with a piece of something called Through the Stones. This would make a great piece for a chatelaine. I got a piece of 18 count Ada, but I'm thinking of having her dye this for me for one of my chatelaines. It's basically just gray, and it's got, let me see, oh no, very minimal modeling that's not coming through on camera at all. Very minimal. You can see it a little bit there, like hair in the center and stuff. So it's an overall just very gorgeous piece of gray Ada. This one's called Through the Stones. I think when I'm ready to kit up my chatelaine, I'm gonna have her dye me a piece of it. I'm not 100% sure yet because I kind of want Silvery Moon Lugana from 1, 2, 3 Stitch, but I'm not sure. I think that's by Wishlist. So that's what that is. 18 count Ada. Then for some reason, the next 3 are the same colorway, and I know it's because her stuff goes so quick. So when you're ordering, you get to a point where at least me, I get to a point where I'm going through the images so fast, and I'm only looking for the ones that don't have any comments. And if it doesn't have a comment, then I look at it real quick, decide if I want it, and claim my name before I even look at the colorway. Ask me how I avoid that, I have no idea. So I ended up with 3 pieces of Tree Hugger. But these 2, I know what happened was it's because she's got these smaller cuts of fabric that are 17 by 17. Her normal cuts are 18 by 21 and bigger. And these ones are typically $12 for the 17 by 17s, and I have a couple of these pieces and I love them. And when I see these pieces, I always try to grab them up because it's a great freaking price, so how can you not? Plus, no 2 pieces are dyed the same. Even if you use the same dye, they're not going to come out the same. So I ended up getting 3 of the Tree Hugger, and you can tell. So both of these are Joblin, 32 count Joblin, and then 18 count Ada. Like, you can tell that they look different. These ones look more like tealy and this one looks more green. The lighting in here is awful. You can tell the difference there too. So let's compare the Joe blends. They're just perfect size cuts. I love them. That's what that looks like. Just some greens and some browns. So we'll open the other Joe blend. So even though the tones are the same, they don't look the same. You've got like different modeling. That's just a fold in the fabric right there. You've got different modeling on each piece. They don't look the same at all. This one has more brown than this one does. And it's just, they're just gorgeous. Gorgeous pieces. So, and for 12 bucks, come on. How can you not get it for 12 bucks? So, there's that. And then the last piece that I got was the tree hugger. She has another Friday Night Fight Night today. And, I don't know. I think if I'm busy, then I'm not going to worry about it. If I have time to put on, then I will. But I stress myself out about getting something. And then you guys, her giveaways. She has giveaways every... So her Friday Night Fight Night is Friday night. And then Saturday, she posts a freaking ton of giveaways for the people who claimed items in Friday Night Fight Night. Those people are eligible to participate in the giveaways, and she just really overdoes it. So this is the 18 count tree hugger that I got in, obviously, Ada. Then something else that I got. So that was it for Be Stitch Me. If I didn't already say that that was Be Stitch Me. Then I got this off of Mercari. I just couldn't pass it up. This is a Dimensions kit that I've been wanting for a while, but this is like 40 bucks at Hobby Lobby still. And I know that it's there, and I got this for about 15 because I had credit on Mercari. I think they wanted 25. I ended up getting it for 15 because you guys have been using my Mercari credits, and when you guys buy something, you get $10 off, and I get $10 to spend as well. So I had 10 bucks to enjoy on this. I paid roughly 14, 15 bucks on that. Love it. And because I couldn't leave well enough alone, I'm not 100% sure about this, but I went ahead and printed the Stitch pattern that they released. This is the house one. So this is part 1, and I don't have a picture of this, but to be completely honest, this is not for beginners, and I still consider myself a beginner when it comes to learning all of these stitches, because they have long diagonal stitch and some other, I think the whole, I don't know. They explain everything on the group, but it's still really intimidating and really hard for me to understand, in my opinion anyway. And so I just kind of have this sitting here because I don't know if I'm actually going to do this or not. So I have it sitting here because I want to remember to print the rest of the patterns, but I'm still kind of not 100% sure about it. So that's that. Oh, also a couple weeks ago, I actually got this from Be Stitch Me as well. What order was it in? I think it was actually with the Friday Night Fight Night order. I got, she had these for sale about last month, and they were the Bella Filipina patterns, and I was so torn. I couldn't decide which one to get because I wanted several of them. These are very comparable to a Mirabilia, if not more, what's the word? Like more, I don't want to say exquisite, but they're definitely very, very detailed. This packaging is incredible. They're much more expensive than a Mirabilia. They run about $5 more than a Mirabilia runs. And honestly, it's because of the packaging. So first it comes in the cello bag. I'm gonna open it so you guys can see. Then you have photo paper, a full-sized sheet. You can see the whole thing's glossy, where the entire thing is printed on the photo paper. Then you have this cardstock envelope, very thick. It's, I feel like, probably the same thickness as the outer one of the Mirabilia. You also have this embossed gold seal, which I did already open it anyway, just carefully. And then you open it like that. Everything is inside of here. You can see the photo corners of the photo sticking out. And then the pattern. It's pretty thick. It's not double-sided, and it's just regular paper. You've got a sheet here with the floss list, the symbols, and then this particular pattern used DMC light effects. You've got the key for the back stitching, then also the beads, the Mill Hill beads that are included. And then you've got other details about the pattern here. She's got her name in this logo in the background on there as like a watermark, I guess. Yeah, so the pattern that I got is called Reina Paz, which means Queen of Peace. And I loved, it's not focusing, everything about the pattern. It was very hard to choose between some of the ones. She also has another one called, I think it's Reina Mariposa, which is Queen of the Butterflies. And I'm thinking of getting that too. I think that's what it's called. And then the pattern, which is six pages, but they're not like, this is the last page. And 3 of the lines are on the other side. There's only 1 line of pattern on that, which is 10, 15 stitches. Same with the next page. There's only the top 1 line. So actually, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4 full pages, and then it has 2 of those pages that I just showed you that only have about 15 stitches on them. So 4 pages, and then it just goes tucked back here. But the thing that I like about this is that these are easy to make working copies out of, because it's a normal sheet of paper. It's going to fit in my scanner very easily to make the copy very easily. Not like a Mirabilia. I have to like finagle Mirabilias to make working copies, and it can get dicey near the folds of the thing. And then with the Mirabilias, you're also printing part of it twice in the scan, because, or at least I do, because I just can't get it to fit properly. I'm not a big fan of these cello envelopes. I used to use them a lot when I sold clothes at home. I used to sell LuLaRoe. Oops, I messed up the, yep, got it stuck right there. Oh well, shit happens. And then I got this off of D-Stash. I can't remember who got it, but it was the Stash and Loading group, and it is the Lizzie Kate's Mystery Sampler Club. And it is, I'm putting them in order, all 3 parts. So, well, essentially it looks like this, and as soon as I saw it, I had to get it. I couldn't believe that nobody had gotten it yet. D-Stash is very hard to get the items that you want. If you want something off D-Stash, you have to get it like that, because it will be gone, especially all the Halloween ones, anything Blackbird Designs. Mirabilia is kind of iffy. It just depends. It has to be one of the sought after ones. They go very quickly. So I got this by some miracle. All 3 parts were in here, but the whole thing looks like this. So part 3, I think, is the house. Let me see. I like these because they're cardstock. Oh, these are just there's nothing on the back. So at the time, it was a mystery, I guess. Like, you didn't know what you were getting. So part 1 just has a black and white version of that, and then it's got like some stuff. It's called Very Scary Part 2. Oh, I guess the whole thing is the Very Scary Mystery Sampler Club. Part 2 looks like this. I have no idea when this came out. There's like no information on here at all. And then Part 3 has the whole thing listed. And then everything, the whole pattern is actually on these pieces of paper printed out. And it's used. So, I mean, I don't expect it to be in perfect condition, but I'll probably make working copies because these have actually been handled very well. The pattern has very minimal fading on the creases, and you can tell that they worked off the pattern, but it's not marked or anything. So the floss list here calls for weeks dye works, so we'll have to see about that. I'll probably order the weeks when I get to it. And it's just on here, they're all different colors. That's what that looks like. And then there was also some free charts, and I don't know if they came with the mystery thing. It looks like it because they're printed on the same type of paper. So you get spooky, which looks like that. You get scary, which looks like that. And then you get haunted, which looks like that. And those are not part of the pattern on here. They're just like extra. I thought my husband was calling me because he's out there again doing stuff again. So yeah, I'm pretty thrilled with this. And then, oh, it also came with the charms. So it has a star and some beads. No idea where these go on here, but this is a teeny tiny little cocaine bag on there. Don't ask me how I know. So there's that. Then I don't know if this is the same, like the original bag that it came with, but it says Tomorrow's Heirlooms, $8 each. No idea what that would have been. Right there, that little tag right there, and it has somebody's name on it. It says Paula. Then I picked this up for a friend, so you know who you are. I have this in my possession. That's gonna go to her when I send her her other items that I am hoarding for her. Then, so you guys, I told you guys before, I had access to a wholesale account. Hold on, before I get into that, I also ordered some Easy Grid. Is that what this is called? I think this is, I already moved the invoice, but I think this is Wishlist 28 count easy guide, I think. And I got this for the two, this is a whole yard. I got this for the 2 Heaven Art designs. That's what that's gonna go. So I need to measure it, cut it, serge it, and be done with it. So you guys know that I have a wholesale account that I have been kind of doing stuff with. So I ordered myself some more patterns, and I also got some for you guys that I will be giving away at some point. I don't know when, but I want to tease you guys with them. So the first one that I got from a sale is Cats on Parade. Look at it. Another Blackbird Designs because I can't help myself. And I will not be doing a drum because I personally don't like the drums. They just, no. So that's what that looks like. That is, I just can't with that. So I got 2 of these. So one of these is going to be for you guys at some point. Also got my very first ink circles. Right now I'm obsessing. Is there a dog running by? Obsessing over the ink circles patterns. Need these in my life. There's so many more, and I honestly can't decide which ones that I want to get. So I started with this one. This one's called Well Suited, and I think I'm gonna do this one relatively soon. This one only calls for 3 colors. So it obviously has a red, a black, and a yellow color in the center. And I don't know what I'm going to use yet, but I'm not going to use what's called for because it calls for 2 Valdanis and a Krynic. I don't think I'm going to use those. So you need 3 skeins of Valdani Black Sea, 1 skein of Valdani Proud Turkey, and then 1 spool of Krynic Aztec Gold High Luster. I probably won't use that. I'll probably just, I think honestly the red is going to be either the Artiste or the DMC Satin because it looks gorgeous, and maybe the same thing for the gold and the black. I don't know. Maybe the whole thing will be. I don't know. We'll see. 2 of those. One of those is going to be for you guys too at some point. And when I kit it up, I'm thinking of providing however I kit mine up, that conversion for it as well. I forgot to look up what this meant, but I also got Alessandra Adelaide Needleworks pattern because it looked freaking cute and I thought it was gonna be small. This bitch is not small. This is 143 by 295. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. This is the DMC list, Krynic, Mill Hill, and more Krynic. No, it's the same. It's just tiny back stitching, other symbols. There's charted in DMC, which is fine. I don't think I'm going to use the Krynic red. I'll probably use the satin again. But this is called Tempest Fugit. I don't fucking know. But I thought it was gorgeous. And I picked up a second one for you guys as well. So that will be given away at some point too. And the last thing, I don't know why I got so many, but I did. I picked up Mirabilia's Xenia, which is a Bewitching Pixie. She's going to be added to my collection. She's very simply charted, DMC and 1 bead, which is amazing because that means that she can be started pretty quickly because she doesn't ask for crazy. I know some of the other Mirabilias I have are charted in like Valdanis and I can't stitch them because I don't have time to do a conversion and I have way too many whips right now anyways. I got her and for some reason I picked up 3 of her. So if I can even show you all 3. I picked up 3 of her. So 2 of these are going to go as a giveaway as well for you guys. And what did I do with them? Where are they? What the hell? Oh, I picked up the beads too. So I have 3 packs of the beads. So they will, 2 of these that are going to go are going to come with the bead pack because it only calls for 1 bead on here. That's it. 1 bead. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 17 DMCs and 1 Mill Hill. So you'll get the bead as well when that does happen. So for today, that concludes the haul. Unless I check my mail right now and there's more, then I'll be back. But no, that should be it, and you can go back to your normal floss tube. I had to double check to see if that was it, but that concludes the haul. I thought there was more, but this stuff I actually already showed you guys. So because it's been so long since my last floss tube, we're gonna do a giveaway for, I need to just put these away is what I need to do. So I'm gonna take out what I know is mine's, put it here. Okay, and leave these out into the giveaway pile because that's a thing now. So you guys, we're gonna do something fancy. Let me look at this real quick and see. Okay. So from this video to the next floss tube, we're gonna give away the Bewitching Pixie Xenia. I showed it to you guys in the haul right before this, the clip with the second clip that I uploaded, and she's gonna come with the bead pack for her. She only requires 1 Mill Hill bead. This is it. And if between the time this video goes up for floss tube and the next floss tube if by the time that happens, I have time to go to Hobby Lobby, I will include the floss that's included, the floss to kit her up. She requires 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16, 17. She requires 18 DMC flosses. If I have time. I'm not 100% sure, but the giveaway for sure is going to be the pattern, brand new, unopened Zinnia chart with the Mill Hill bead that you need. Only one is required. You can see here, there's only one Mill Hill bead. That is it right here. And I have this same chart. And so when you get it, if you want to stitch it together, I am open to doing that because I bought a copy for myself too. So there's that, the entire thing. So you just need to say that you want to stitch the Pixie. Make sure you spell Pixie, P-I-X-I-E. I don't want to say Zinnia just in case it's misspelled, because if you misspell it, the random comment picker is not going to pick it up. So that's going to be sorted aside in the giveaway pile. And yeah, I'm actually considering starting the Well Suited that I showed you guys as well, because I've been wanting to start in ink circles, and this would look amazing in my dining room because we play a lot of cards, or even like over the, we have a wet bar. This would look good too. But I don't want to stitch it in Kreinik and Feldani because that's what's called for. So I think I'm going to see what satin floss they have at when I go pick up more floss next time, because it only calls for three things. So 1 red, 3 blacks, and a gold. So yeah, pretty sure they'll have that at Hobby Lobby anyway. So that's my favorite piece from that. They're all my favorite pieces. I think I say that all the time. And I legit think that's it, you guys. I'm pretty sure there is nothing else Stitchy related. Oh, actually, as I can see this in the background, I did stitch a little bit on Monsters. What is this? Chopping Mall. Oh, I worked on this here. Finished. Did I finish the gumball machine? The gumball machine's just about done except for that centerpiece. Started working on Sam. I think, yeah, I finished this candy jar. I need some back stitching on this skull still, and then some back stitching here because these are like a flower vase. So I have to draw like the lines, not draw, but I have to stitch the lines coming down for the stems or whatever. But I did work on this, not a lot. I started up here in, I can't remember if this is the sign or there's like some stuff hanging. Started that. I told you guys that I didn't want to take this into Maynia. Ugh, here we are in June and this bitch still is not done. Golly. It is what it is. It'd be done if I wasn't stitching all this shit for Maynia, right? So I definitely think next year I'm going to either do Monogamania or Maysania. I think I'm going to keep, do what I'm going to do is stitch one project during the week, see if I can reach a certain point, and if I reach that point, I will reward myself with a new start on the weekend. And if I don't reach my point, then I have to stitch through that piece through the weekend until I get to my goal, no new start, and then I will do all the weeks like that. It is what it is. Anywho, I gotta get going. I want to record a Mystical Diamond Art video and clean my house. Maybe go get something to eat because I am all alone. My kids went to my sister-in-law's for a swimming party. I had homework, which I did this video, want to do another video, and then I need a deep clean because my house is trashed. Just, it is what it is. So that's it. That's all I have to say, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy.